and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Purpose of this special meeting is advertised to discuss the formation of preliminary budget and to consider and take action on other business that may come before the board. During public comment. Motion to pay bills and sign checks.
I'll make that motion.
Okay, second.
Any questions? How you vote?
Yes.
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 We got a lot here tonight.
This is the last payment on the Peterbilt.
Really?
On what?
Peterbilt,
Hmm.
yeah.
Good.
Oh, that's underneath it. That is that lost wheel on that tractor there. After the payment of those bills, the General fund sets at $160,626.07. Water and sewer account sets at $55,420.86. Liquid fuels account sets at $25,805.52. The Act 13 capital improvement fund sets at $647,219.15. Capital reserve unemployment account, $21,227.08. Parks and Rec account, $4,889.24. The red bonding account, $97,000. Our insurance escrow, $0. That is your payments. Your balances and payments.
The discussion on the status of the preliminary budget.
Okay. The budget continues to be a work in progress. I'll take your last sheets that you had the last meeting, and I'll tell you some of the changes that are being worked into it. Really on the projected balances, they're very, very, very insignificant amount of change between them. I don't imagine there's more, if you add them all, there's more than a few $1,000s difference in all the accounts. But the numbers that we have are a little more precise. The total receipts will go from, in 2016 total column, will go from $1,535,054 to $1,500,644. The 2017 budget, instead of being $1,120,578, will be $1,123,578. So it's changed by $3,000. These are just, again, more numbers based upon expenditures. As we wind down to the end of the year, these numbers will continue to change and fluctuate as we get into the time where we need to adopt the preliminary budget, and then we're also going to need to adopt the final budget. We go to page 1 of the revenue column. The only change you're going to see is on the bonding escrow account. That was taken to 0. That should be of no revenue to the township. I don't think it should be there. The escrow, it's usually money it's just held. It's not really available for our spending unless it's some damage done somewhere along the way. The next page, another revenue change. We've had the line item in for community center rentals. We're budgeted at $3,000. We actually have received this year, well, estimated to have received by year end $3,315. That's on the rental of the gymnasium. The next change that you'll see is account number 56105, and it was account number 35245 and was amended to 36105, had a wrong account number on it. That's your residential occupancy permit. Also, there was a under contract to snow services, which was 360, account number 363. We had the wrong account number on it. We've changed that. The total, the Three Ridges Festival was added in as a line item that we didn't have before. It's account number 395, and then added to that, and that's the refunds, overpays, and reimbursements, and that was added into that. So to put the total 2017 revenues, instead of 1.854 million, it'll be 1.830 million, a little less than what we were anticipating at this point. Under expenditures, the changes that have been made since the last budget, we took a good look at the professional services account number 400.45. And there were some items in there that needed to be in other places. And so we removed those, and those accounts would be adjusted. 2016 total would be, instead of 18,675, would be, is that 10,863? What you got? A little bit, mine's a little bit blurred.
Yeah.
Parks and Rec account here, these are West Penn bills. We didn't have them in here. This has been added in. This is the West Penn bills that come out every month out of the Parks and Rec account. They paid for that for years and years prior to being folded into the township. That Parks and Rec account is always, has always paid that electric bill. That's for the Memorial Middletown. And it's on the flagpole. I think they pay for the lights on the basketball court as well. I think that's all booked together. The account number was changed on the office assistant mileage. We had a wrong number there. It was 404.6 is what we had. It was actually 404.06. And under legal services, I missed that one. Legal services account number 404. Instead of we had originally budgeted for 2016 $16,000. We're going to budget $40,000. Okay, total general government expenditures. 2017 budget, we had budgeted $193,040. At this point in time, it's about, looks like it's going to be about 213,000 instead of 193. It looks like it'll be about 213. There were some changes in the, I guess there must have been some combining of accounts on dental health insurance and police dental insurance. I guess police health, and police dental. I see she's got some arrows pointing in here. I'm not sure what she did with that. Did she make any other, I don't know what, maybe she wanted us to look at it.
Well, 194 comes from 195, you just swap.
Oh, they're out of
swap
order,
it.
they're out of order.
Position.
The numbers are out of order, that's what she did. She showed us they need to be resituated. I told her to go ahead and mark them this way rather than give us a spreadsheet with the changes already in it. That way we would know what the changes would be. The total police department we had a budget estimated at $288,434. Now it looks like it's going to be $294,434 based on current expenses. Okay, no changes there. Down to account number 437.25, equipment parts and repairs. We're going to put those under the liquid fuels fund, and those can be paid for with liquid fuels money and a certain percentage of that. So that's the changes you see there. It'll drop from 40. Projected budget was $43,400. It will actually drop to $20,000 in the general fund, but it'll be shifted over to the liquid fuels account. So really, a lot of savings. It's just a moving of things around in the budget. Okay, the total road department budget will be estimated, instead of $1,151,359, be $1,117,954. So it's a little bit lower, but it's only because things are being shifted to liquid fuels. There was a name change on an account, 483.30. The police and road pension fund is going to be police pension fund. Payroll expenses, account number 66,000. I think 66,000 is a default QuickBooks account, you QuickBooks people, and sometimes it's the account numbers, they won't let you change them in QuickBooks, but maybe they've upgraded to where we can because we got the right account number, 498, so it's been changed. So that category, the budget that's supposed to be total expenditures, okay. Instead of 1,818,451, it'd be 1,811,176, so it's really not changed very much. That is your projected numbers in the general fund as of where we're at right now. Again, that it continues every day to be fine-tuned. The water and sewer fund, some changes in that. The total budget balances will, instead of being $40,000 remaining, it's gonna be probably more like $34,000. The receipts and beginning balance total will be down about the same amount of money. And the projected balance ending the year, instead of having $40,000 ending the year, we're only gonna have 34. So that's revenues, looks like that budget's gonna to go down a little bit. Receipt-wise, the receipts are expected to, receipts are at, instead of total revenues for 2017 was projected at 429,882. It's gonna drop. It's actually going to drop the same amount of money, about $6,724,047. On the expenditure side, I'm not able to read that line. Can you read that line?
Unclassified expenditures.
Unclassified expenditures under the
448.50.
0.50. That's an account that doesn't exist on the old budget. It'll be in this budget, and I am not able to read what it actually is for.
It's 5,000 and
Not
800
change.
35.
835.
Yeah.
That's not some miscellaneous, some small amount of miscellaneous money. Total expenditures for the for 2016 numbers. It's adjusted here, so I don't see a total for 2017 on that page. Okay, it still remains with the total water expenditures at about 200. Okay, with sewage expenditures at 169,657, and the total water expenditures 219,497. Total expenditures sewer and water $389,154. That's really unchanged from the last time. But this again, as we come into the end of the year, we'll continue to change those projections. At some point in time, we'll have to declare that's almost a finished product, and we need to adopt it as a preliminary budget, and then before year's end, we need to do that as a final budget, and do the advertising and so forth.
The township received another quote for aggregate.
Yep, there was suggesting that we went to Belmont Aggregate. Let's see if I have it here. Okay, here's the aggregates. Belmont Aggregates price come in. The material, the cinders, was $19.25 a ton delivered. Ground screen edge was $18.25 a ton delivered. And Ed, or Zach, you talked to Ed in regards to these numbers.
Yep.
And what was his
Well,
understanding?
yeah,
My understanding that
the guy that
the
we've been dealing with.
lowest responsible bidder was Groudon.
Yeah, it was.
And that's, I think we need to go ahead and go with the lowest responsible bidder on that.
Motion to accept the lowest responsible bid for the aggregate.
I'll make a motion.
I'll second.
Any questions?
Questions beyond this as well? Need to have public comment.
What's that? What does that mean, lowest responsible? So it's not the lowest bid,
It's the lowest bid.
Okay.
The lowest responsible means this, in bidding language, that's a bidder that you've been dealing with for a long time and have a good relationship with. You can always, it's always get low bids on things, and low bids is not always the best deal.
In other
But
words,
this is
it's
a little
not
bit-
coming out of John Smith's backyard that you have nothing, no knowledge of, right?
Right.
But
It's somebody it's a good bidder, been a good bidder, and they've been using them here for years.
And I wasn't trying to waste your time.
No,
I was
no,
trying
no,
to
no, no,
Save
no.
the township
No,
money because
we have no problem doing that, that's,
I've had very good,
yes,
service
well,
and
I've
everybody.
used them, I've used them myself, so, you know, I've used Belmont aggregate.
when I bill out, they were $4 to $7 a ton cheaper than everybody else.
I think that's how we ended up with, you know, bidding off, as we got off the ground over all these years, they've been, I don't know, they didn't use them when I was here before, but the last few years, several years, they've used ground and had good success with them. Well, that sometimes too comes if you make, you know, they can get you the stuff when you need it. Sometimes, no, you have to have it when you have to have it. You know, that's, you don't have a lot of come and go on that. Yep,
Any other questions?
Nope.
How you vote?
yes.
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 Discussion on ordinance proposal for creation of the position of Township Fire Marshal.
Put that in here. There it is. Eric Graham had come to us and asked us to consider creation of the position of the Donald Township Fire Marshal. Scouted around, found some ordinances from other places. And go ahead and share this with you. This first, section 1 creates the position. The office of fire marshal is hereby created in the township of Donegal. Such officer to be appointed by the board of supervisors. Fire marshal shall report to the chairman of the board of supervisors, except on those matters of which he is required by law to report directly to the board of supervisors. Appointment and compensation. The person appointed to the office of fire marshal shall be appointed as soon as practicable after the adoption of the ordinance. This ordinance. Fire marshal shall serve at the pleasure of the board of supervisors. Vacancy shall be filled in the same manner as the original appointment was made. Compensation of the fire marshal shall be fixed from time to time by the board of supervisors pursuant to resolution. Powers and duties. The fire marshal may perform all duties and shall have and exercise all powers prescribed by law. Fire marshal duties encompass the safety and well-being of residents, businesses, and visitors from fire and other potential hazards. Fire marshal may do any or all of the following: inspect plans and make recommendations for new structures in regards to matters of fire protection of life and property, work with the township building code officials, investigate all accidental and suspicious fires, assist civil authorities in pursuit and prosecution when such fires occur by design, conduct annual fire safety inspections of all publicly occupied commercial, mercantile, educational, multifamily structures, and provide public education programs to reduce the likelihood of of accidental fires. The fire marshal shall also serve as the official liaison to the emergency response community, including reviewing emergency response plans thereof. Additionally, the fire marshal shall assist the township's emergency management coordinator. The fire marshal shall also serve as the issuing officer for public firework displays under the Pennsylvania second-class township code, as well as being the issuing agent for any open burning for which a permit may be required, or other such related duties as may be directed by the board of supervisors. Interference with section 4, interference with the fire marshal is unlawful. No person shall in any way obstruct or prevent or attempt to obstruct or prevent the fire marshal in the discharge of his duties by denying or attempting to deny him access to any premises owned or occupied by such person, either by failing or refusing to correct information requested by him in the investigation into the cause, origin, or circumstances of any fire. Violations and penalties, section 5, any person, firm, or corporation who shall violate any provision of this article upon conviction thereof, and an action brought before a magisterial district judge in the manner provided for the enforcement of summary offenses under Pennsylvania Rules of Criminal Procedure, shall be sentenced to pay a fine of not more than $1,000 plus cost in default of payment of such fine and cost to a term of imprisonment not to exceed 90 days. Each day that a violation of this article continues or each section of this article which shall be found to have been violated shall constitute a separate offense. Section 5, the repealer, all ordinance or parts of ordinances conflicting with the provisions of this ordinance are hereby repealed insofar as the same affects this ordinance. Ordained and enacted at a duly simple public meeting by the Township of Donegal, Washington County, Pennsylvania, and is placed for date, time, and signatures. Eric has reviewed this. Legal counsel has reviewed it. And it appears to be fairly comprehensive. One thing to note is there are not very many townships that have a fire marshal.
I had a question.
Yeah.
Isn't it redundant?
No.
We already have the fire marshal.
They don't review building plans.
Oh, is that the goal here?
Yeah. What Eric came and explained, he was here. Actually, he went out, had the opportunity to go out and review some of the motels out at the Highlands, and they are so far, they're out of fire code. Ohio County has nobody that reviews building plans. And they said there's some things he saw there that, they really could be very costly in terms of a fire, as far as in terms of life.
Next question is,
Yeah.
it's gonna be a paid position?
No, it's not intending to be paid, but it's set up that it could be paid. It's looking down the road, rather than to change the ordinance, it's in there that it can be.
And are we fixing something that ain't broke?
No, we've got plans being considered for things going on, hotels, motels, we're playing the plan, don't know that they still are. Just today, we had a business wanting to come in up on 40 into an area where there's houses. They want to put in a commercial structure and level the ground, and they wanted to guarantee on the use of the property. So there are things coming into Donegal that somebody needs to review to make sure, very simply, that somebody's not going to be killed because of the way the place is built. And I don't know all the ins and outs. Eric kind of explained some of the things when he was here. One of them is being able to get all the way around the building.
I still think it's redundant because the whole state's under the UCC.
I understand that. That didn't stop them from building a compressor station without the fire, whatever they needed in place.
That's not occupied.
Well, it might not be occupied, but it certainly.
Well, no, you were.
I'm not giving you an example. I'm not gonna argue it. The police chief, the fire chief come in here and asked for this designation. There were some other reasons why. Dealing with setting up emergency response plans for the township, and being the liaison with the board to see that's done. Because we do have two different fire companies that serve the municipality, and we have to kind of work them both together. So he had reasons for it. I'm not arguing, I'm just saying that's what he brought in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What's a public fireworks display?
Put on for the purpose of, for the public. That's what the township code references.
So if we have a private one, it doesn't matter then?
That's what the township code says, that fireworks displays are, we can issue permits for public displays, is what the code says.
But public kind of implies that you're doing it for the group like you do on the
I can't-
4th of July.
I can't answer that, I just say what the code says, I don't know. We can only allow them to do what we're allowed to do under the code.
I have one more question. In that, what you read, they can come on your property, you can't deny them, or it's gonna be a $5 fine?
I think you have to let it be inspected for public safety purposes, regardless, I think so. I don't think you can deny them even under the UCC, I don't think you can deny public inspection.
After a fire?
Huh?
After a fire?
After a fire, yeah, but they also have the right to review building plans as they're being drawn, say, hey, wait a minute, you need to fix this.
That's not what I'm asking.
I don't know that, I'm not gonna pretend to know that answer, I don't know.
That's what you read.
You said it was yearly.
They can do a yearly inspection if he chooses to, it doesn't say he's going to, it authorizes him to. Those are a list of things he can do.
At a
It's not a
cost?
list,
At a cost?
we're not that far down the road yet. Yeah. That's not saying, I think it's just a exhaustive list of the things that it enumerates what he can do. Doesn't say this is what you're gonna do.
I understand, but I'm a limited government guy, and, you know, why give them all this rope? You know, let's narrow it down a little bit.
Well, that's part of why he reports to the supervisors. That's their job, to make sure that it doesn't become intrusive.
Motion to advertise the ordinance.
Motion to advertise.
Second.
Any questions? How you vote?
Yep.
Yes.
Yes.
That doesn't fall under, like, isn't there, there's not another governing body or like state fire marshal
So I
or?
said,
You do have state police, fire marshal, in this case, it's the same person.
Right, but
Yeah.
I'm saying, like, isn't that, like, with your building inspectors and stuff like that, isn't that?
Well, let me ask you something.
Overlapping or
Let me
what?
ask you one thing. Do you know anybody more qualified than Eric Graham?
No, I'm not questioning that at all.
Okay,
I
if he
just,
comes up and makes that recommendation, I think he must have solid reasoning, and he sold us on it.
what is that?
Somebody's beeping.
Oh, that's a one.
Master oil and gas ordinance.
Okay. Back last December, the oil and gas and mineral extraction master ordinance came before the Board of Supervisors, and it was discussed at the planning commission the other night, and a valid point was made that it's been a long time since this thing was discussed, and since it was acted upon by the board. And it's here in front of us.
Motion to
Go ahead.
Motion to advertise the